How many of you know that your life is a direct result of your thoughts? Raise your hand if you understand that we are never the victim of our circumstances or our surroundings, but we are the direct result of our beliefs. It's true. You guys, the things that you are experiencing in your life, or maybe not experiencing in your life, are a direct result of your thoughts. We have been made in the image of God, and therefore we have the ability to create with our what? Our thoughts, right? So raise your hand in the comments if you are somebody who understands this, who understands that the way that your life looks, the things that you are experiencing, the things that you're not experiencing are a direct result of your thoughts. Raise your hand if that's you, if you understand that that is true. Raise your hand if you are somebody who doesn't believe me. If you are somebody who would argue and say, you know what? No, that's actually not true. My life is because of circumstances that are out of my control. My life is because of things that have happened to me. My life is a direct result of all of these things going on around me. The truth is, you guys, no matter which side of the coin you fall on, this live video is for you. If you believe that your thoughts are a direct result or directly resulting in the way your life looks, or whether you don't, this live video is for you. So you guys, today I want to talk to you about how to become a master of your thoughts, because the bottom line is this. If you can master your thoughts, you can master your life, right? Brian Tracy said that your life is a reflection of your thoughts. If you change your thinking, you can change your life. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about some very simple ways that you can begin to change your thoughts when you recognize the fact that you are having these negative thoughts. So last week in my live video, I talked about negative thoughts and I shared some tips on how you can slow down those negative thoughts. When you have that inner critic, right, that just loves to come up and give his 2 cents or her 2 cents on the things that you are doing in your life. I shared some tips on how to really slow those down. And today I want to just expand on this idea a little bit more about how to really become the master of your thoughts, because it's possible, you guys. And okay, so let me share a few of my favorite quotes with you, okay? Or at least one. I already shared the one by Brian Tracy. This one by William James. He says, the greatest weapon against stress is our ability to choose one thought over another. So you guys, at the end of the day, we have control of our thoughts. Whether you believe me or not, it's true. We have the ability to say no to a thought that we might be thinking and to choose another. And so becoming a master of our thoughts is a lot of practice. It takes a lot of practice, you guys. I still to this day struggle. You know, I have had a successful coaching practice for over a year, almost a year and a half now. And there are still days that I struggle with negative thinking. And there's still days that my inner critic comes up and loves to tell me, you know, or I have this whole reel of negative thoughts. But the truth of the matter is, if you can begin to recognize those patterns in your own mind and slow it down. You guys, a lot of what I talked about last week on my live video is ways that you can slow those thoughts down enough to give you some separation, to give you some space in between those thoughts and what you actually do, right? Eckhart Tolle says we are not our thoughts. We are the awareness behind them. So once you can fully understand that you have control over your thoughts, then all of a sudden things become a lot easier. Okay. Again, this is a practice. This doesn't mean that, you're going to just all of a sudden be like, never have any negative thoughts or never have any, things that are contrary to the way that you want to live your life, or the way that you want to, the things that you want to create, the goals that you want to achieve, and all of those things. It's never like that. It's always a practice. In fact, today I just got done. I'm only a week late. I just got done doing my March vision board. How many of you guys do a monthly vision board? Raise your hand in the comments if you do a monthly vision board. You guys, I do an annual vision board. I do a 5-year vision board, and I actually just started, it's been a little while now, 6 months or so, that I have been doing a monthly vision board. Again, the reason why is like our thoughts are so powerful, right? And if I can set a goal or what it is that I want for the next 30 days, and I consistently think about it, whatever we think on the most is what we get in life. So if you are not somebody that does a monthly vision board, for sure, this would be like one of my highest recommendations for you, is to start to implement and do a monthly vision board. You guys, it is a game changer for sure. But how can you become a master of your thoughts? I want to share a few tips with you guys on how you can do this. Again, it just takes practice. It takes practice, and it takes practice, and it takes practice, and it takes more practice, right? So the first tip that I have for you, so one of the things that is so powerful in changing those thoughts is slowing down enough to recognize that you're even having a negative thought. When you slow down, when you become present, when you understand that, your thoughts are not in control of you, you are in control of your thoughts, you will begin to become aware of actually how maybe negative your thoughts are. You guys, when I started this has been years ago now that I have been working on, regaining control of my thoughts. One of the things that I started to see was I was so mean to myself. I was so mean to myself. I constantly had thoughts of, oh my gosh, who are you? Like, why are you doing that? Oh, you're, like I would say some of the meanest things to myself. And it wasn't until I really began to put some of these things in practice and put some of these things in play that I really began to see it for what it was, right? And it was ugly. It was not pretty. I'm not going to lie. You guys, it was some of the meanest stuff. I would never in a million years say this to anyone else. And here I was saying it to myself. So if that is you, one of the things that you can begin to do is to slow down your breathing. Okay. One of the practices that I work a lot with my clients on is breath work. And breath work is so powerful, you guys, because it takes you out of your head. I say this often, but a lot of times we're just like bobbleheads. We're just walking heads, right? We're just so consumed in our thoughts that we don't slow down enough to even realize that we're connected to a body, right? Like we have a body. We are in a physical meat suit. And if you can slow down your breath. This is the first thing that I would encourage you to do, is just start to take some big breaths, like in through your nose and out through your mouth. This is such a powerful tool. If you guys are with me right now, do that right now, like in through your nose and out through your mouth. How much better does that already feel? It is so powerful, especially when you are, like I talked last week, if you get in this spiral of negative thinking, if you don't get out of it really quick, all of a sudden it's turned into something massive, right? Maybe it started out as something super minute, something super small. And all of a sudden it becomes this huge, out of control thing. And one of the ways that you can slow that down is through breath work. So that's my first tip for you. The second tip that I have for you is to practice choosing one thought at a time. When you are first starting this can really maybe be hard. And so one of the ways that you can do that is you can just start to write things down. If I'm really feeling overwhelmed or really struggling with some negative thoughts, or, really struggling with a particular issue, I will just sit down and I will write out all my thoughts. And then I'll come back to them. It's so empowering to understand that you can choose one thought at a time. You don't have to be a slave to your thoughts. And you do this by making that choice, right? Cognizantly making a choice that, you know what? I don't have to choose this thought right now. I can choose something else. I can put this one away. I can file it away. I can, focus on this moment, this issue at hand, whatever it is. But think about compartmentalizing your thoughts. Think about, I talk a lot about time blocking, but do that with your thoughts, right? Think about putting your thoughts into little teeny tiny compartments, and they have their little time slot, and that's what they get, right? The other thing that I have to say, in addition to, choosing one thought over another, is, you guys, this conversation cannot go without me saying and talking about meditation. I have been meditating consistently for over the last year and a half. I have not missed a day. I meditate for 20 minutes every single day, and it has been a game changer. I cannot even emphasize this more, right? I have gained so much by just being quiet, just being still, right? If you're a Christian and you struggle with this idea of meditation, please look into it, right? Now, I am a Christian and I have been doing this for a long, long time. And the benefits that I have seen are immense. They're huge. They're enormous, right? And one of the most powerful benefits that I have seen is this ability to slow down those thoughts, right? I know a lot of you are probably like me. A lot of you guys are entrepreneurs, you're creative, you're, just always on the go, right? And so for me, slowing down my thoughts is so hard, right? I am constantly, if you guys see me in my day, you would be like, oh my gosh, this girl is nuts. I am constantly going from one thing after another, and I always have ideas. I always have thoughts. I, have ideas for new, just whatever it is. I have so many things, and I bet you guys are the same way, and when I first started meditating, it was so difficult. It was so difficult. And I remember a coach and a mentor at the time had said, you need to meditate for 20 minutes at a time. And I was like, what? 20 minutes? That seems like years. That seems like a lifetime. And she said, if that seems long to you, you need to do 60. And I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. But you guys, I'm telling you, the benefits that I have seen are just too many to list right now, too many to talk about right now. That's a whole nother video topic. But so that is something that if you are wanting to master your thoughts, that you should definitely try to implement meditation. Okay, so this idea that you can choose another thought. So when you've slowed down, when you practice your breath work and you have slowed down and you realize that, like, okay, the thought that I just had isn't in line with what I actually want. It's just an old story, or it's just something that's on repeat in my mind, or it's, whatever it is, you can choose another thought. You can choose another thought that aligns more with your goals and your aspirations and your dreams and the things that you want to achieve, right? That one of the reasons that, a monthly vision board is so important is that it's just right there all the time. So every single morning, I look at what I want to achieve for this month, and it is at the forefront of my mind. And, when those negative thoughts come in, like, oh, you can't make that money. Oh, you can't create, a podcast. You can't create this live video series, a show. One of the things I want to do for the month of March is I want to start to do a live show. And, when those thoughts come in, like, who are you to do that? You can't do that. It's like, no, that's not true. That's an old story. That's an old thought. And I can choose another, right? And if that one doesn't suit you either, you can choose another and another and another, right? You can choose your thoughts. Okay, so I said this before, but practicing presence, and that just is becoming aware of this particular moment. If you're struggling in this negative thought pattern, one of the things that you can do is, like, okay, slow down, breathe deep, look around you. And then this leads me into my final tip for you, is to practice gratitude. You guys, gratitude is one of those things that truly will unlock so much in you, right? It's one of those things that, when you are in that negative, or let's say you've recognized a negative thought and you're like, okay, I'm going to, slow down. I'm going to look around me. What can I be grateful for right now in this moment? Man, am I grateful for electricity. Like, I have lights around me. I'm sitting here talking to you guys on technology. Man, am I grateful for technology. Man, I'm grateful for this home that I live in this beautiful area that I live in. I'm grateful for the fact that I have a body that I get to, experience life through. I'm so grateful for my eyes. I'm grateful for the fact that I get to see you and me and the things around me and really experience life. And I am telling you that when you begin to become present and look around you and start to express all of the things that you're grateful for, all of a sudden, everything begins to shift. Gratitude is such a powerful practice that if you don't take anything away from this live video today, let it be a gratitude practice. Gratitude really has the power to change everything around in an instant, right? If you are in this negative spiral and you want to stop it dead in its tracks, start to speak all of the things that you're grateful for. Start to become aware of all of the many things that you have to be grateful about. And I am telling you, all of a sudden, you're like back on track, right? You're back to where, okay, I had that negative thought, and I totally turned that thing around. I totally was able to get back to where I want to be. If you have a goal, let's just say it's a monetary goal. And when you start to have those thoughts like, well, who are you to make that kind of money? And nobody has ever made that kind of money in your family, or whatever those thoughts are, right? We all have them. Just in that moment, the second you feel those negative thoughts come up, start to practice gratitude. And I am telling you, it will stop that dead in its tracks, like right away. And it will turn it around to where you're like, you know what? You're damn right I can get this money. Like, there's no way that God would not want me to get this. The things that I want to do with this money are in line with his kingdom. Like, of course I'm going to walk in my authority, and of course I'm going to walk in my God-given responsibility and mandate, and of course I want the success. Of course I remember who I am. And it's in those moments when you practice gratitude that all of a sudden that shifts. I am telling you, that is such a powerful practice if you can really start to slow things down and just get into gratitude. Just get into gratitude and appreciation. Like, what can you be thankful for? What do you have in your life that you appreciate? Okay, so I spoke long enough on that. Okay, so Elizabeth Gilbert says, your emotions are a slave to your thoughts, and you are the slave to your emotions. So you guys, again, if you can get control of your thoughts, you could basically have anything at all that you desire in this life. Okay, and then my final quote, which I already kind of gave this away, but I'm going to say it again because it was so good. But Eckhart Tolle says, we are not our thoughts. We are the awareness behind them. So please, you guys, just remember that you have the ability to think something different, to think, to have the power over your thoughts. And when you can master your thoughts, you can master your life. So take care, guys. We'll see you soon.